Hey gang, thanks for joining us for another edition of Chicken Skin Moments with Pastor Dain. And you know what, today's is a little different. It won't be coming straight from the Bible, but it does involve the Bible, certainly concepts from the Bible. But it was something I wanted to share with you because last night my son came home from his teenage Bible study and I said, "How was Bible study, son?" And he said, "Oh, it was great. We had some controversial topics." I said, "Like what?" And he said, "Well, like sex before marriage and living together." And I said, "Oh, was that controversial?" And anyways, we kind of had a laugh about that because, and I didn't share this with him, but I'll share it with you. I actually once lived with a gal, not being married. Now, here's the interesting thing. I wasn't really a believer, a Christian, or a practicing Christian at the time. But isn't this fascinating? When it didn't work out, I vowed to myself that I would never live together with another woman unless we were married. Isn't that interesting? And I figured that out even before I had the first little iota of interest in God and doing things His way. I worked out that this living together thing is not a good idea. And here's why. Living together is actually kind of a form of works righteousness. Two people get together for some mutual benefit. Maybe it's financial, maybe it's sexual, maybe it's just, they get along real well, but they leave a large back door open. And that back door signifies, hey, if it doesn't work out, then I can always leave. This is called freedom to some, but I want to submit to you, it's not freedom. It is actually a slavery of works righteousness because now it becomes my job to keep you happy all the time because if I don't, you might leave. Now, how different is that than the marriage covenant? Now, the marriage covenant is actually like the covenant of grace. The marriage covenant says, I will always love you no matter what. I will never leave you. I will never forsake you. And within that, we can have freedom. Now, it doesn't mean I have freedom to be a jerk because if I do that, my marriage will suffer and life won't be good. But if I use that freedom and the security I have knowing you won't leave me and that freedom, it's a beautiful, wonderful thing that I can actually be myself without this constant fear that you might leave me, and you can operate that same way without fear that I might leave you. So I think marriage is a much better deal, and it obviously represents the covenant that we have with God, because God says, I will never leave you, I will never forsake you. Now, that's never an opportunity to be a jerk. That's why Paul says, what should I sin more that grace might increase? No. Sin is still death. But I know that I'm safe to always be with God. I can always ask Him for forgiveness. I know that He will always love me. Now, one caveat to all of this is what I call the modern marriage vow. So I was at a wedding a few years ago, and this is what the vow came out as. I love you so much because you make me laugh. We're going to be so happy together. Oh my, that's not a vow, people. Do you understand? That's a curse. If somebody ever said that to you, that is the worst curse they could ever say, because the implication is this: I love you because you make me laugh. I love you because you make me happy. Now, married people, is it possible to make someone laugh and keep them happy for 25 years? No, it's virtually impossible. And so basically you are being cursed with an absolutely impossible task of trying to earn this person's love by making them laugh and keeping them happy. That's why it's a lousy vow. In fact, it's not even a vow. It's a statement. It's a threat. Let me give you a much better idea. A marriage vow is this: I will never leave you. I will never forsake you. I will always love you. For better, for worse, for richer, for poorer, for full head of hair, bald, fat, skinny, good mood, bad mood, whatever the case is, sickness and health, I will always love you. Which, by the way, forgiveness is built right into that vow. When we say, forgive us our trespasses, even as we forgive those who trespass against us, man, that is the bedrock of the Christian marriage. Let me tell you a quick story and then I'll wrap up. Years ago, I was counseling this young Christian couple, and they were maybe the most solid Christian couple I'd ever married. And I said, hey, can I ask you a favor? On your wedding day, I want to say this certain thing. And they totally agreed. And here's something I said at their wedding that you're not going to hear at very many wedding days. It went like this. They were standing in front of me holding hands, and I said, this is so sweet. Here you are holding hands together in front of me. And you know what's awesome? The person that you're holding hands with right now is going to be the source of such great happiness in your life. The person you're holding hands with right now will be the father or the mother of your children. You will celebrate birthdays and anniversaries together. However, the person that is holding your hand right now will also sin against you more than any other human on the planet. Now, that's kind of a radical thing to say at a wedding, but you understand how true that is. And then what I went on to say was, and this is why forgiveness in your marriage is so important. Because in the marriage covenant, we agree that we will not have a perfect relationship, that we will sin against each other. But we also agree that we will always forgive, we will always repent, and we will always try harder to not sin against each other. And I want to submit to you today that that is what gives you a sense of freedom that a works righteousness living together could never bring. Clearly, it looks to me like God's institution of marriage as a way for a man and a woman to live together in peace and harmony is a much better plan than the world's way of doing it. So that's it for today's chicken skin moment. Not necessarily out of the Bible, but a great biblical concept, and I hope it's something that you can use in your life. Hey gang, thanks for watching. Make sure you hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, tell your friends, write your congressman, whatever you got to do. But thanks for watching the video. You're going to want to check out this next video as well. And other than that, we'll see you next time. God bless.